What's up people, this is Plant Mom Mitali here, and today in this video we are going to be talking about the plant which is most gifted during the time of Christmas and New Year. And you've guessed it right, these are poinsettias. So poinsettia or poinsettia as the American says are plants which mostly bloom during this time, that is the season of November and December is the right time for them to bloom. And actually the pink leaves, or actually the pink or the red, which we assume as flowers, are not flowers. So in this video, in Connect with Your Plant series, I'm going to be talking about how to keep these poinsettias at your home and not make them wither away or die away, because I have been guilty of buying so many of these, but they haven't lasted me throughout the year. And you know what, I have decided to not buy such plants which are just very seasonal plants like caletheas. So in this Connect with Your Plant series, I'm going to be talking about these plants and telling you how to maintain them all year long. So we assume when we bring these home that the pink and the red that we see are the flowers, but poinsettias have very small flowers. Like if I have to show you, then these small yellowish things are the flowers of these plants, but this is the foliage, that is, these are the leaves. Poinsettias have originally come from Mexico and Southern America, and they were found in the forest. And first, let's talk about the soil. Now this is the pot that I have directly purchased from nursery, and I have not done anything to the soil or this pot. If you talk about poinsettias and their soil, and if you try to repot them, to be very frank, I have never repotted a poinsettia, and immediately bringing them from a nursery and repotting them is absolutely a very bad idea, because they are very delicate plants. So what I have done is, I think I have purchased this plant around 13th or 14th of December, and now we are sitting towards the end of December, so it's almost been 15 days. Still, it is not a good time to repot this plant. I would be repotting this plant approximately in end of Feb. This is when in Mumbai it starts heating up and the weather changes. So that is actually an ideal time to repot any kind of plant which is very delicate in nature. Now, if you see the soil of this poinsettia here, I have bought this from a nursery shop, and it has a clay soil, right? So it's a mixture of clay soil, and if you see clearly here, you also have the plastic ring. So many people have asked me that what this plastic ring is. This plastic ring is actually the small plants which are grown in these kind of pots. You might assume they are pots, and then they are directly planted in this big pot, and hence this plastic ring prevails. Now, what do you do if a plant has such kind of a plastic ring? While repotting the plant, you can make sure to cut this plastic ring out. It's actually a small pot kind of a thing, and this will then help the plant to spread its roots, because of this plastic ring, the roots are a little confined. So this answers the question of what to do with the plastic ring. Now, the soil. If you talk about the soil for poinsettias, it can go with any basic soil mixture that we put for most of the philodendrons and most of the aeroids, right? So it is 60% clay soil, 20% vermiculite, and then you can add a bit more of aeration by adding not cocoa peat, but cocoa bark. If you add cocoa peat to it, then this plant is not going to survive, because this plant does not like chikat and wet kind of a soil which is getting stuck to its roots, right? So this mixture is going to work for this plant. And if you want to fertilize this plant every month, you can fertilize this plant by just adding compost to it. There is no need to add any kind of other fertilizer. Now, what I have seen people talking about poinsettias in most of the other videos is that they are adding a liquid fertilizer to it. I would not say that you go ahead and again purchase a liquid fertilizer. Compost will do the trick, but if you insist on adding a liquid fertilizer, then a seaweed solution or a seaweed fertilizer is something that you should look for. Now talking about the light conditions, which is the most important bit to crack when it comes to poinsettia. So I have done my research, and because I found most of these videos by people who are not based in India, they were mostly based abroad. They were talking about, this plant not catching any kind of cold or drift, because Mexico again has a bit of a tropical climate. So now that we are in India, I am in Bombay, I'm talking about a tropical climate, and I'll also be mentioning about a dry climate and the sunlight. Now for a tropical condition or a tropical climate, what you can do is you can place this in a window which receives sunlight, but sunlight doesn't directly fall on them. Now what I did for initial few days is, because I thought that this is a flowering plant and it has this gorgeous blooms coming out of it, I placed it directly in sunlight, and what happened is this. Zoom in. This. What happened is this, and the plants started showing out some kind of a burn, like how we get burnt on our hands, when we touch something. When this happens, you can assume that you have placed it in very, very, very harsh sunlight. So don't do that. Place it in a window which is just like this. This is a perfect kind of light for poinsettias, where there is enough light so you can read a book here, but you do not have to wear sunglasses. Follow this tip. For a drier climate, now what you can do is, if you are in Delhi or in Rajasthan and still want to keep in poinsettias, again keep it in a window which receives light, but direct sunlight is not falling on them. And if you are in a dry climate, then I think you need to water the poinsettias every day. Follow the 1 finger rule. Touch the soil, see if it sticks to your hands. If it sticks this much, it's fine. But if it sticks a lot, like your whole finger is full of soil like this, then don't water it, because poinsettias need to get dried between waterings. And if you ask me about misting, don't mist this plant. This plant does not like getting misted at all. If you think that a lot of dust is collecting over it, then what you can do is, I call it showering my plants. So I take this plant, I directly put it under the shower and just shake it like this, so all the water goes out of the plant. And then I don't directly put it in a harsh sunlight, I let it just dry under my fan, and then put it in a window which receives indirect light. So we have spoken about the soil, we have spoken about the light conditions. When I was explaining the soil, I spoke about watering, and I also spoke about adding some kind of fertilizer, which I said that ideal is compost, homemade compost, and the second one is a liquid fertilizer, which is a seaweed fertilizer. Now let's talk about propagation. Now, because these poinsettias are so delicate, they tend to just bend and fall off, and this has happened with this thing here. Now I have not been able to successfully propagate a poinsettia, but I'm still going to try. The basic rule with any aeroids or philodendron is just the same, and same goes with poinsettia. If you find these nodes here, I would give this a clean cut and then directly put it in soil. I have tried doing this here, so let's see how successful my propagation was. Yes, so this happened with an earlier plant, and you can see that it's getting some small roots at the end. So this is the right way to propagate a poinsettia, is just by cutting the stem. I'm again going to put it back here. This was just for a demonstration purpose. If you propagated a poinsettia, do not remove it out and see if the roots have come or not. That may disturb the roots. Because I had to show it to you, I have done that. Now I am going to try and propagate this one, and I'm going to actually show you how to propagate. Now what do I mean by a clean cut? I'm just going to try and show you how to propagate this stem. Okay, so this is a clean cut where the cut looks extremely clean, just like cutting hair. And now I'm going to chop off all the leaves, and so sadly cutting these red flowers, red leaves as well. And there is some kind of a sap which is coming out of this. Okay, so let it be, do not disturb it. I'm just going to let this, okay, that just fell off as well. Now what I'm going to do is just insert this in the soil and just let it be. There is one more which is fallen off here like this, so I'm going to cut it. I'm going to find a node which is here. I'm going to give it a clean cut, and because I'm feeling really bad cutting off the red ones, I'm just going to leave it as it is and put it back in the soil. Some of its gum got stuck to my hands, but some of the gum which fell off from these poinsettias just got stuck to my hand, but that is absolutely okay. I'm going to check for the health of this plant, and it looks okay. Nothing is wrong with it as such. So in this video we spoke at length about how to take care of a poinsettia so that it survives the entire season and not just the cold months of December, January and February. We spoke about the light, we spoke about the soil, we spoke about the fertilization, we spoke about watering, and I showed you how to successfully propagate a poinsettia. Now I just hope that I will be following all these steps myself, and even after repotting my poinsettia, it survives throughout the year, and that will be the real test of keeping this poinsettia alive. But mind you, this can be done and is possible. So how did you like this video on poinsettia care in your Connect with Your Plant series? Do let me know in the comment section below. And if you're not following us on Instagram, that is Plant Mom Mitali on Instagram, where I post daily updates and my daily life with all my 200 plus plants. Plus, how did you like this setup? And this time we are shooting with our DJI Pocket 2 camera. How did you like the quality and the sound? Do let us know that as well, so that we can keep on shooting more and more vlogs with this small camera that I have at home. This video is not sponsored by DJI Pocket 2, but I would like to mention, because any of you who are plant enthusiasts or who want to start a YouTube channel in the next year of 2023 can purchase this inexpensive camera which has high quality and make really nice videos that do daily, and this is great for vlogging as well. How did you like this video? Let us know. Do subscribe and do share our channel with other plant enthusiasts who are looking for practical plant information, which I always give in all my videos, so that our channel keeps on growing and growing. It's a bye from me. I'm wishing you a very, very happy new year 2023. Bye.